Hi, beautiful. Welcome to Meticulous Coaching with your special host, Dominique, aka Daisy Grant.
My head above the water. Finally, I can. Hey, beauty. Welcome back to the channel. It is Daisy or Dominique Grant, your Overflow Mentor. Thank you for joining me today. The topic I want to talk about today is, some might think it's a pretty silly topic, others might think it's a very important topic, but whichever opinion you land on, I hope that you'll enjoy this topic, and I hope that it will cause you to use your critical thinking, to think outside the box, and to question the narrative. So lately I've been seeing people using the term AI psychosis. Like AI itself is causing people to lose touch with reality. But let's pause right there. What we're really seeing isn't new. It's not that AI is causing psychosis. It's that psychosis is being exposed through the way people are using AI. So let me say that plainly. People with the ability to go into a psychosis, which is really anyone, mental illness does not discriminate, are using AI in a way that induces a psychotic break. I hope I said that clearly. So I hope I said that clearly. I hope you can understand that. Also, a personal tidbit on this before I get into the clinical explanation of what psychosis is. I believe that watching these videos kind of showed me how many of us actually go into psychosis or are having delusions of grandeur, or are having delusions and thought processes that are actually irrational and not based on truth or wisdom or integrity or good moral character. It's actually helping me to realize, because one of the videos I saw, the commenters said something like, oh, they are going to AI for all the answers. And I know people, myself included, who may go to certain groups, communities, or people to get all their answers. And if the answers don't align with that group, community, or people, we don't take that information and ingest it and apply it to our growth and apply it to our mindset, our mind shift. So to me, a lot of us actually maybe do have these characteristics of irrational thoughts, irrational mindsets, but because we fit into the right community, the right space, people don't see it as irrational. They normalize it.
Because we fit into the right community, the right space, people don't see it as irrational. They normalize it.
Okay, anyways, so what is psychosis clinically? Psychosis is a mental state where a person loses contact with reality. It can involve delusions, false beliefs, or hallucinations, seeing, hearing things that aren't true. Causes can include underlying mental illness like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, trauma, substance abuse. Okay, why people call it AI psychosis. Some people use AI to validate their delusions, to build elaborate stories, or feed beliefs detached from reality. And from the outside, it looks like AI caused this behavior, but in reality, AI just amplified what was already there. It's similar to when social media echo chambers reinforce conspiracies. The platform didn't create the psychosis, it exposed it.
Now hold up, that's not to say that all conspiracies are false, okay?
I just think it's a little bit silly, to be honest. I think what's really being labeled as psychosis is really just psychosis revealed. one of the videos I saw said, oh, and this is happening to people who wouldn't seemingly have an episode of psychosis or so on and so forth. But I bet you they probably did show signs or have shown signs. However, those signs just agreed with our perspective, and so we didn't label them as being psychotic or going through an episode of psychosis, so on and so forth, because it fits our narrative. It shows up because someone is leaning on AI not for support, knowledge, or creativity, but as a mirror for their delusions, which can really happen to anyone. You know, if you don't know how to properly use the tool, I do understand how it can easily affect one's ability to stay in touch with reality. But I also beg to differ that this happens more or not commonly just in everyday life, just in everyday communities, with people who are leaning on communities, resources, and things to be a mirror for their delusions. And a lot of us are falling for it. And a lot of us have grabbed hold of those thought processes, mindsets, and behaviors and taken them on as our own, thus becoming just as delusional as the person who started the movement, community, program, or behaviors. And that's an issue. I think we should be really careful to also address those things. Okay, so the danger isn't AI itself, but people only taking one community's thoughts, one influencer's conclusions, or their own grandiose beliefs as absolute truth. Without seeking objective facts, professional help, or multiple perspectives, which will then result in a well-balanced thought process, understanding, and approach to everyday life issues. So the cult-like aspect. When groups of people reinforce each other's delusions, especially online, it starts to look like cult behavior. AI can then become another voice in that cult, not because AI is alive or plotting, but because it reflects whatever input is given. If you feed a delusion, you'll get back affirmation of delusion. Important facts that you need to know. There's no scientific evidence that AI itself induces psychosis. People with pre-existing mental health vulnerabilities are more likely to misuse AI in ways that reflect their condition. Technology has always been a mirror, whether it was forums, YouTube, or social media. Now AI is just a faster, more personalized mirror. And I actually think that's good, because that means if there's someone that is sick that is using the technology and needs to get help, we are able to actually see it and see how tangible it is, and we can actually help them. But then also I think of doctors like Dr. Amen, who is a psychiatrist, double board psychiatrist, children's psychiatrist, neuropsychiatrist. He actually looks at the brain to see what is working, what isn't working, what has caused damage, so on and so forth. And he's able to tailor the interventions to that person's personal brain makeup and biology. And I think that's amazing. And the reason why I say that is people are saying, oh, these people seem to not have the predisposition to go through a psychotic break or to have psychosis, but we actually can't say that. We've never taken a look at their brain. We actually don't know how their brain was functioning before, and we probably just didn't know any of their irrational thoughts or delusions, because, hey, let's keep it real. None of us want to share our automatic thoughts, or none of us want the whole world to know our delusions or rational thoughts, because I certainly don't, and I have my fair share of my own, right? So my conclusion is, beauty, this isn't AI psychosis. It's just psychosis expressed in a new way. AI didn't create it. AI just made it visible. And here's the truth. Discernment matters. Mental health support matters. And community matters. AI is a tool, but like any tool, it will reflect the hand that's holding it. And if the hand is steady, aligned, and grounded in truth, AI can multiply clarity and creativity. But if that hand is unstable or delusional, AI will just multiply the instability. The real issue isn't AI psychosis, it's psychosis itself, and our willingness to recognize it, seek help, and not confuse delusion with destiny. To be honest, we don't need any more fear induced solutions to using AI. We need grounded, integrity-filled opinions on the matter. I'm not saying that you should blindly use AI. I believe you should do your research, and I believe that you should be governing it with integrity and good moral character. But I do believe you should learn how to use it to your advantage, to your community's advantage, so on and so forth. Don't allow fear to direct your use of this technology, and don't allow fear to allow you to lose out on the benefits of using this technology and using it properly. That's all I want to say. You already know where to find me. You already know what I'm doing. Click those links in the descriptions. Check the captions below. And I'm so excited for you to either start this journey or just to understand my perspective on this important topic. Love you all. Father's continued blessings. Bye.
Thank you for joining Daisy. Stay tuned for our AI automation series, Father's Continued Blessings.